What? The food? What? I mean, this is an area of history that's just like so deep.
Hand over the baguette.
Themes of empire, mission, inheritance, and destiny. Hello, welcome back to What the Food. If this is your first time here, welcome, pull up a chair. This is a podcast that aims to uncover the fascinating origin stories behind dishes from all around the world. Also, dishes and food items. I'm going to start saying that because it's not always a dish, is it? You know, the other week we did pork pie, and I don't know, I feel like that's a food item. It's not quite a dish.
No, but you're right, because we don't also just do food as well, or we don't plan to just do food. We got drinks on the horizon as well.
So I think it's a bit outdated, that, isn't it? The dishes.
Yeah, I mean, well, we kind of, the whole podcast name probably needs to change, lad.
What the food item, dish and drinks.
Yeah, it's got a nice ring to it, that.
If you are new here anyway, this is a podcast that aims to uncover the fascinating origin stories behind dishes from all around the world, both popular and obscure. Andy and I delve into history and we uncover who, what, why, when and where as to why we eat the foods that we eat. So what are we looking at today, Andy?
Well, Miles, because we've not clarified your name yet. So this is Miles. I'm Andy.
I am Miles. Just got really serious there all of a sudden.
Yeah, sorry. Well, I'm just excited because I've been anticipating this episode since we started the podcast, really, which I believe is pretty much exactly a year ago this month.
No way.
I think it is.
Is it?
I think obviously we had the idea around this, a bit earlier, but I think this. I remember writing kind of the first episode, or kind of both of us going off and writing our own first episodes around this point. Not sure the exact date that we recorded, but quite the journey we've had, eh?
I know, man. Been growing and more and more people are giving us feedback and enjoying it, and
yeah, exactly.
I've learnt loads as well. Like I actually genuinely have.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Which is what it's all about, really.
Exactly. I mean, we're not quite at the 20 episode mark yet, but we're getting there. And when we do, we're going to celebrate like it's 1999.
Celebration.
Free gifts for everybody.
Don't say that. No.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, why am I looking forward to this episode? Well, it's because its place of origin has a special place in my heart, primarily because it was the place where I got engaged to my wonderful fiancée. She's not in the room. That just came out of all me. That wasn't forced to say that. Not a gun to my head.
I promise.
And secondly, because it's just generally one of my favourite places to visit due to incredibly friendly people, beautiful landscapes, lively cities, and of course, glorious food.
Lovely.
The episode we are of course tackling today involves the origins of pad Thai.
I have never been to Thailand, and it is at the top of my list.
Mate.
If I could choose to go away tomorrow, I'd be going to Thailand.
Yeah, 100%.
I've always wanted to go.
100%.
Everyone that I know that's ever been there said it's amazing.
It's incredible.
And like you said, like it's everything that I love. It's great, fresh food. It's weather and the climate and the people.
Very happy people. Have you ever eaten pad Thai, Miles? I'm certain you have.
Yeah,
you have.
Pad Thai. There used to be, when I went to uni, every Tuesday there used to be a pad Thai food truck, and I'm pretty sure that's why I put on shitloads of weight whilst I was at uni for those 3 years because I was just scranning a huge tub of pad Thai every Tuesday. But I don't regret it at all.
What's the best pad Thai you've ever had, mate? The best
pad Thai. Do you know what? I'm going to say it's that one.
That one.
Because I've had pad Thai at some upmarket Thai restaurants before. I've had pad Thai at other sort of street food trucks and things. And just nothing comes close to that. It was just amazing. I don't know what it was about it. I just remember it was just the best. So I've made pad Thai at home a bunch of times as well, and I haven't yet nailed it. I don't think I've not yet. I don't know whether it's I've not found a good enough recipe yet, or I'm not tinkering with the recipes that I'm using enough. But I can't quite replicate that pad Thai that I had at uni.
Right. Well, we'll get there together. Right. So my best pad Thai was on the island of Koh Tao, which
here we go. Shit's on mine today. I had mine in Surrey. I had mine in rainy Surrey.
In Surrey, yeah. Well, I had mine on an island called Koh Tao, and it's an island you can only reach by boat. The boat takes around 50 to 60 minutes to get there. I'd like to admit that I handled this voyage like a boss, but the combination of crashing waves and the smell of a baby that had just vommed in front of me caused me to feel a bit ill. But I'd be a shit pirate, lad. I'd be shit. I'd enjoy the lifestyle, I think, pillaging and all that sort of shit. But the actual sea time, nah, I don't think I could do it.
No.
I don't think I could do it. Anyway, this pad thai. So it was at a restaurant called Mama's. Well, it wasn't really a restaurant. It was more of a shack on the outskirts of the town with about 5 plastic chairs and tables.
This seems to be the theme, though, doesn't it, with Thailand? Like,
definitely.
it's no frills.
No.
It's not got your plush seating. It's not got your fancy restaurants. It's served, like you said, plastic chairs on the side of a street.
Yep.
But it just so happens that you're eating the freshest and best well-cooked food there is.
100%.
They don't give a shit about how you have it. It's what you're having, which is what counts.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so we sat down. Elderly Thai lady, who I'm assuming was Mama, like descended on us, asking us what we wanted to drink. Caddy got a water. I asked for a Chang, obviously, because I'm a man and I drink beer. And off she went, returned lightning quick, not gonna lie, like so quick, like the quickest I've ever seen any old lady move before, with plastic cups full of the liquids that we'd asked for. Never saw the bottle of the beer.
Right.
Tasted all right, so we're all
Might not have been that, but don't know. We move.
we move. Next, she asked us what we wanted to eat. We both obviously done a bit of research and obviously both just ordered the pad thai.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, where we were sat, we could actually see directly into the kitchen as well.
Okay.
And there was this older lady, what looked like a daughter of about 30, and then a small child of about 10, all cooking up an absolute storm in that kitchen.
Wow.
The kid.
Proper
was having
family movement.
Yeah, man, the kid was having a whale of a time. He was messing with the noodles or some shit like that.
Messing with your noodles. I mean, you've cracked it if you can, employ a child to do your work for you, but also make it fun for them.
Yeah, I mean, he was tenderizing the noodles, wasn't he?
Oh, tenderizing the noodles. It was probably terrorizing the noodles. Tenderizing. Jesus.
Anyway, it wasn't the sort of place you'd see a 5-star hygiene rating in the window.
No.
I mean, it was outside, so even if they did get a fucking 5 out of 5 ticket, they wouldn't have anywhere to stick it. So, but the food was just unbelievable. Pad thai was the freshest, most beautiful thing I think I've ever eaten in my life. Just did not want it to end.
It is proper comfort food, isn't it? It's warm.
It really
it's stodgy. But then you say it's stodgy, and it is stodgy, but it's not in the same category as like a carbonara stodge wise.
No.
It's still got that Thai signature freshness, hasn't it?
Yeah. You're not getting weighed down by kind of like the
Exactly.
starchiness of kind of pasta water and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or the cheese.
Yeah.
So anyway, pad thai, what is it? Let's, just in case people don't know what it is. So pad thai is a stir-fried noodle dish commonly served as a street food in Thailand. It's typically made with rice noodles, shrimp, peanuts, a scrambled egg, bean sprouts, and various other vegetables that you would like to include. Anything you kind of got lying around. The ingredients are all fried in a wok over a very high heat, and once the dish is completed, it's tossed in a pad thai sauce, which is usually a combination of tamarind, fish sauce, oyster sauce, and palm sugar. Now, tamarind sauce is the main character in this combination, and it's the ingredient that is basically at the heart and soul of Thai food. That's kind of what is kind of one of the most common ingredients in Thai food, and gives the kind of rich umami flavor that
It's that kind of dark maroon kind of coloured paste, isn't it?
yeah, exactly.
It's very strong. You tend to only use a little bit of it at a time, don't you?
Yeah,
It's a
definitely.
Really strong flavour.
Definitely. It's got like a signature tangy, salty flavor with like a hint of sweetness, because from obviously the palm sugar mixing in with it. Yeah. So I mean, the key, in my opinion, to a good pad thai is of course fresh ingredients, but personally, I think the most important thing is mise en place. So you have
Preparation.
you have to have everything ready before you even think about turning that hob on. You have to have your sauce made, your wok ready to go, ingredients chopped, noodles prepared, just everything ready to go, because the dish cooks incredibly quickly. Hence why it's often served as a street food. So having your shit ready to go is paramount.
Yeah.
If you don't,
you can't be
stuff will
cooking
burn.
it whilst waiting to chop something.
No, exactly, because it'll burn. It'll become your noodles will go mushy.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
Timing
work
is
out.
of the essence with this dish, isn't it?
So yeah, I mean, now it's quite a simple dish, and I imagine everyone out there knows what pad thai is. But now we know. Now we know what's involved with the cooking process. Let's get down to business, shall we? Let's take a look at the origins of Thailand's national dish, the pad thai.
This is the sound of us going back in time in a time machine. Ding.
Brilliant.
Welcome.
So yeah, I mean, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the very first.
Wrong. Sorry, go on.
Shallow and pedantic, that, Miles. Shallow and pedantic. This is the very first food origin story that we have covered that includes political intrigue and a coup, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very first. Well, get ready because this is about to get wild, right? The year is 1938. In the West, German troops have just invaded Austria, and Orson Welles' War of the Worlds is being aired in the US, causing mass panic and hysteria throughout the nation. In the East, Japan has begun its invasion of China and started to expand its empire, also causing a similar level of panic and hysteria, perhaps
For
more
a real
justified.
reason, not a film.
Exactly. One of those countries that was worried about the expanding Japanese population was indeed Thailand. Now, 6 years earlier, in 1932, Siam, as it was known then, had just undergone a revolution that had stripped the Thai monarchy of its control. A Thai monarchy that had ruled with full control for over 800 years.
Right. I was going to say, I just remembered you saying that they have kings and queens, don't they, in Thailand, which is quite interesting because obviously over in sort of Japan and China, it's more emperors, isn't it, and dynasties. Whereas they've always got king. I mean, they have like a king now, don't they?
They do, yeah, but they don't have absolute power anymore. They're it's more of like a constitutional monarchy, kind of like the Queen nowadays.
Yeah, it's interesting how they have kings and queens as opposed to you'd have thought with them being so close to China that they'd kind of adopted that method of monarchy or ruler. But yeah. Interesting. Well,
I mean, thankfully, no blood was shed during this revolution, and the country transitioned to, like I said, a constitutional monarchy. They installed democracy, and the first constitution ended up being introduced. So King Rama VIII, who was studying abroad at the time of the revolution, sent a telegram from Switzerland to congratulate the Siamese people, and the royal communication with the Siamese people later ceased. His communication later ceased during World War II, and his last telegram to Siam reads,
"On this national day, I would like to express my best wishes to our nation and our people. May they be filled with happiness in every way.
Peace out.
Peace out."
Peace out, boys.
So you're just a happy bloke from the sound of it.
Yeah, well, I think he didn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of like a military coup, and they just, the powers that be took over.
Right.
I think it's a long and kind of complicated time in history, the Siamese revolution. But we're just kind of interested in one of the guys that took over. So we're interested, here we go, in a bloke by the name of Phibun Songkram.
Phibun Songkram.
Phibun. Thankfully, he's better known in the West as Phibun or Phibun. So
Phibun.
that is how I will be referring to him from now on, because I will butcher his proper name if I keep saying it.
Don't know if Phibun's any better. Is it Phibun?
It's Phibun, but it's like Phibun, I think. Phibun.
Okay.
But yeah, Phibun had played a kind of like a key role in the coup of 1932.
Right.
He was a military officer at the time, and a year after the coup, he became the equivalent of the Prime Minister of Defence after crushing a rebellion launched by some of the royalists. And in 1938, he became Prime Minister of Thailand.
I find it hard just like imagining Thai people fighting. Can't imagine Thai people ever fighting. Obviously they have, but just seem too nice to do any warfare.
Yeah, but
obviously not.
No, they certainly did. Certainly did the fair share.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the year is 1938. Phibun is the Prime Minister of Thailand. But, as we know, 1938, World War II is approaching, and Thailand is in a precarious position. So for years, like the country's leaders had clutched their independence closely. You know, they're obviously worried about the French and the English who had colonized, you know, Cambodia, Laos and Burma, which basically surround Thailand. And now they've got Japan rapidly expanding its empire directly in the direction of Thailand. You know, the situation does not look good.
They're getting sandwiched in.
Yeah, exactly. So what do? So in response, Phibun's government took action. They launched a national campaign called Noodle is Your Lunch.
When you said this is what they did, I was going to make a joke. I was going to be like, make pad thai for everyone. I was going to say that, and I thought, nah, this is probably really serious. I better, like, keep quiet.
No, you were spot on.
That was, like, actually spot on.
Yeah, you were spot on.
What, like a national political incentive to cook more noodles?
Yeah. So it was a national campaign called Noodle is Your Lunch, and it basically involved the Public Welfare Department giving Thais free noodle carts and distributing recipes for a new national dish, which went by the name of pad thai.
I was spot on. So like meanwhile, back in the UK, we had like that poster with the guy pointing at us, recruiting soldiers. And over there, it's like the equivalent, but just the guy handing you a little tub of pad thai. What was that one called? What was the actual? It was like
the American one is Uncle Sam Needs You or something like that.
That's it. Yeah, like Uncle Sam Needs You. That's it.
The famous British one was the woman, wasn't it? With like roll your sleeves up.
Yes. Yeah. She's like planting potatoes or something, isn't she? Getting stuck into the farming.
Something like that, lad. Yeah, planting potatoes. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Plant potatoes, please.
Please. Yeah, that's the copy. Plant potatoes. Please.
That's a man realising he sounded rude and going back to just add a please on at the end.
Yeah.
Plant the potatoes, please.
Please, dear.
Please. So they've got a government incentive for people to cook more noodles.
Yeah.
They're giving out noodle cards, like ration noodle cards.
Yeah, noodle carts.
Carts?
Like
cards.
street. No, street food carts. To promote more people heading to the streets, cooking pad thai and selling it to other Thai people.
What does any of this have to do with the Japanese coming from the east?
Well, it's going to win the war, isn't it? Obviously. How can you not see that? You're obviously not a tactician like Pabun.
A master tactician like Pabun.
I'm probably saying his name like I'm trying to be dead serious, but I'm just butchering it like every time. So everything I say just loses credibility instantly.
Yeah. So what is this, like a kill them with kindness kind of approach? Like if they want to invade, just smile and just let them, and then they'll be like, oh, we can't actually take over from these people because they're just too nice.
Yeah. Well, let's stay with this, shall we? Let's see where his head's at. So yes, a noodle project may seem silly in the context of the war, but Fibbin thought it was one of the most important things that would keep Thailand independent. Fibbin strongly believed that a strong national culture, including national foods, was the key to remaining independent for Thailand. So, I mean, we've already mentioned that Thailand was surrounded by colonies that European powers had justified the basis of colonizing on the basis of civilizing and modernizing their populations. You know, like Britain went into the various countries that it did with the excuse of we're going to civilize these people.
Yeah,
we're
bring
going
them
to
up to scratch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, put railroads down and build better roads and infrastructure and all that.
Yeah, exactly. But Fibbin thought that if we have this strong national identity, this strong national culture, then we can't be colonized because we'll be seen as civilized and kind of modern in a way.
Right, kind of, we've already got our shit together, thanks.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, in a speech to his ministers, Fibbin is reported as saying,
"We must be as cultured as other nations, otherwise Thailand would be helpless and soon become colonised. But if we were highly cultured, we would be able to uphold our integrity, independence, and keep everything to ourselves."
Wow. So you can see where he's getting at, what he's getting at, can't you? You can see where his head's at.
Yeah, no, I do get that.
Yeah, but having a dish that is like truly Thai in its origins, they will be seen as cultured by the powers that be. Now, obviously, he's not just pushing this noodle project. That wasn't like the only fucking thing he was doing. Like, he was doing other things to promote Thai culture. He wasn't just like,
this
another
will do
good day at work.
Hand me the pad thai. Okay, I was going to say, you know, like you could argue that India, you know, had a very strong national identity before we landed there.
No, but they didn't because they were all broken up into individual states, weren't they? They weren't India as a country.
Yeah.
They were all kind of almost like independent
different tribes and factions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
which
that's true. That's true.
I don't know how many languages they speak in India at the moment, but it's
that's testament, isn't it, to the different cultures and things. Okay, so yeah, there's maybe a bit of merit here then, possibly. Yeah,
exactly.
Food's powerful, man. Food's powerful.
Don't judge his Sesame Street fucking sounding campaign yet. Come on, let's give it a bit of chance.
Fair enough.
So but I mean, before we kind of move on to more pad thai stuff, I just wanted to give a bit more of a background on our mate Fibbin, because at the moment we've kind of made him sound like a bit of a top bloke because he's just, you know, obviously looking out for his home country and his home people, and it sounds like he was the one that is responsible for pad thai's invention. So, top
Yeah.
bloke, maybe.
Mm.
Well,
Just the part where you say like he's actually a rapist.
yeah, I mean, he was indeed looking out for his country and trying to better the lives of his people, but he was, of course, motivated by something else as well, power. Fortunately,
Power, yeah.
power.
It's always there. It's always there.
So he compared himself to Napoleon, but he was
Right.
actually more like Mussolini in his leadership style.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
We all want to be Napoleon, but sometimes we're just Mussolini.
Yeah. Get that on a t-shirt. That could be the first merch drop that we do.
Yeah. We all want to be Napoleon, but sometimes we're just Mussolini. Love that.
Love that. Get that fucking IP on that. Register that domain now.
Oh, yeah. Merch coming soon. Merch coming soon.
Merch coming soon. So at times he played the Democrat, but he often borrowed liberally from the fascist playbook to create basically a state-centric culture led by his own cult of personality.
Right.
So you've got like the government placing portraits of him across the country. You have state media quoting him every single day.
It's very North Korean-esque, isn't it?
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
Kim Jong-un. I think democracy is one of those systems that can mask a lot of things as well, can't it? Like I think a lot of countries kind of label themselves as democracies, but have these other systems underneath.
Yeah.
Russia and China, there's arguments there that they on the surface promote a democracy, but they very much act in a different way a lot of the time. But it's an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, his birthday became a national holiday, and people even called him the leader.
It's all very brainwashing, isn't it? It's that thing it's all the posters around of him, and you have to address him in a certain way, and it's illegal to say anything bad against him. It's all kind of indoctrinating. Yeah, it's brainwashing in a way.
Definitely. Yeah, like they the state depicted military heroes. They championed sacrifice for the state. The government organized, I want to say materialistic, but it's military.
Militaristic.
That's a hard word to say.
Especially at
Very hard word to say that. Who made that word?
Yeah. Militaristic.
And the government organised youth groups that were more like Hitler Youth than Boy Scouts.
Yes.
So you're definitely right.
Well, this is what I was going to say as well, is like in periods of time when this is the norm, you've got to think about the children that are being born into this mindset as well. Like it's not something they've not witnessed the turn into this. It's like they're born into this way of thinking, and that's even harder to get off of someone because that's all they've ever known. So that's the dangerous part, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is hard to get off with someone, isn't it?
I always found it difficult, I'll tell you that.
So worried about his country's independence, disintegration, and most of all support for his rule, Fibbin decided to transform the country's culture and identity. So
more noodles.
More noodles. Bring the trucks in.
Every problem.
Deliver the noodles. Japan have just invaded.
Noodles.
Get more noodles.
Yeah. Germany are pushing from the north. Noodles? No, Fabian. No.
So he was actually educated in Europe. So whilst he spent time over in Europe, he kind of, when he came back to Thailand, saw how far behind his country was. He saw his country as provincial and backward, and he aimed to make Siam a strong, nationalistic and modern country.
Right.
So, like a drill sergeant breaking in new recruits, he passed 12 cultural mandates that turned the Siamese people into productive, well-mannered, nationalistic people who are completely proud of their country and set them on this path to a new way of life, I suppose. And I mean, looking back, many of his policies seem ridiculous now. He told people to wear European trousers and skirts instead of traditional Thai clothes. Women was mare. What am I about? Women
wish mare.
Wish mare. I've just developed a lisp in the past 24 hours. Sorry, Marsh, I can't record tonight. Something's wrong.
Something's wrong. I'm trying to figure it out. Just can't. Sorry.
Just can't. I just don't know what's wrong. Anyway, shout out to people with lisps. Get it on.
Shout out to people with lisps. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Shout out.
Shout out. Absolute shout out.
Absolute.
This is an inclusive podcast. It just is so.
We're Lisp positive over here.
Lisp positive. We're pro Lisp.
Yeah. Lisp neutral.
Lisp neutral. That means we don't like it or we don't hate it.
Yeah, exactly. We're indifferent.
Yeah, your Lisp, mate. I don't really like it, but I don't hate it either.
Don't really like your Lisp, mate. Imagine saying that to another human being.
Yeah.
You, mate, your Lisp. You know your Lisp? I'm indifferent to it.
Yes. I'm indifferent to it.
They'd be shell-shocked. They would not know what to say.
No, you've just like cancelled out your own statement. Yeah. Oh, God.
Anyway, women must wear. Women must wear hats when outdoors. And if I'll just start this whole thing again.
Well, I was going to say, without the context of before, it just sounds like this is your opinion.
Yeah, this is my opinion. People with lisps must wear hats when outdoors.
This will save our country. Oh, right.
So yeah, I mean, his policies are crazy. So we've obviously mentioned the one about the trousers, European trousers and skirts instead of the traditional Thai clothes. He also said that women must wear hats when outdoors, and if they didn't, they were at risk of getting fined. Mental. Even as World War II began, he used radio, not ad radio, just not just a single radio that he's got. He used radio to address this point.
Pibbin here.
Do you hear me, Pibbin?
Answer, Pibbin.
Copy, Pibbin. Loud and clear, Pibbin.
It's just his assistant in the other room, just appeasing him. Got it, Pippin. Over and out.
It's just him running in and out of the room.
Oh, so what? He's using radio as like a channel to spread this.
Yeah, about hats. So World War II has just started, right? And then this is what he had to say on the radio.
Our dear ladies, we must not think that this is not necessary to wear hats in times of war. Now more than ever, it is essential to go on wearing hats. This guy is an absolute nut job.
Yeah. But he's just of that mindset, you know. He's completely under the impression that if we maintain our culture and our nationalistic feelings, we'll be fine. He's just that's just so ingrained in him.
So he's trying to mimic like the upper class women walking the streets of like London and Paris and things, wearing these like kind of regal hats. But but he's shoehorning that this other culture on his people.
Yeah, exactly. He ordered everyone to stop chewing betel nuts, which are kind of like a nut that have a chemical similar to nicotine in them, and they rot your teeth like something crazy. So like proper grim.
So that's a bit of an addiction problem there.
Yeah, exactly. And he also advised people on how long to sleep each night and how often they should call their relatives.
Yeah, I mean, you said he's kind of promoting this. It's not a law, is it, as such? Is he just asking people to do this, or is he enforcing this?
So
how far has he gone with it at this point?
Yeah, so, like if women didn't wear hats and they were caught outside without the hat on, they were fined. Like,
oh shit! So he is actually enforcing this.
He is enforcing this. Yeah. Right, obviously they're gonna have fucking no hope of enforcing it in like the arse end of the countryside in like a fucking jungle. Like, when some Thai person's problem is fighting off tigers. They're not asked about what Pibbin's got to fucking say about chewing betel nuts, They've got bigger problems.
I'm just thinking about the life or day in the life of a distant forest hat enforcer officer.
Just one dude.
Yeah, just going around killing tigers and wrestling massive beasts to get to the next person to just ask them if they've got a hat on.
That's a comic book. We need to write that. That's a comic book right there. Anyway. Tam Suk Numnoda of nope.
What are you saying here? You say words like that.
Yeah. just a word I made up.
Simdom Flambalaya. Okay, Andy. What was the sentence? Go again.
Okay, I'll go again.
What the fuck was that?
It's a guy's name. It was a guy's name.
Right. They're just speaking a different language for a second there.
Just got possessed for a second. Sorry, like.
Oh God.
Fuck me! Fuck me!
Fuck me! Fuck me! Feed me noodles! Feed me noodles!
No, what I was trying to say was Thamsuk Numnona, who was the author. Can't laugh at this guy's name.
No, it's a real dude. Sorry.
So his name is.
I'm trying.
You trying?
All right. Sorry.
Right. Can't say it.
Go on. I'll do it. Thamsuk Numnonda.
Numnonda. Thamsuk Numnonda, author of Thailand and the Japanese Presence between 1941 and 1945, wrote...
Pippin was determined that his most important objective was a cultural revolution. The heart of Pippin's campaign was to instill a love for Thailand and to stir up pride among the people in all things Thai.
Yeah. So he truly believed that the reason Thailand remained the only area in Southeast Asia that had not been colonized by the European powers was due to the king's efforts to portray Siam as cultured and modern. He believed that this is how the country had maintained its independence all this time.
And it has worked, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's touching on what we said at the beginning. Like, no one really no one colonized there. They didn't have that external force imposed on them, did they?
No, exactly. You can kind of understand his thinking. You can kind of see his logic in his approach.
But I think it was more like the Western people that would have invaded kind of no longer had the excuse of, we're only going here to make it better for them. But they didn't have that excuse anymore. So it would have just been a blatant invasion.
Yeah, exactly.
Which they couldn't get away with now.
Yeah, exactly. It's finally just last bit on Pippin. So he was the actual one that was responsible for the switch in the country's name from Siam to Thailand.
Oh shit.
Madness.
So they were still called Thai people?
No, they were called Siamese. So when Pippin took office, Pad Thai barely existed, if at all. Most Thai people ate rice with chili paste, basil and salt, and often bought snacks and other food items from Chinese food vendors that were common throughout the country. So where did this dish even come from then? Just seemingly sprung out of nowhere. Well, there are a few theories. So the first and most likely is that the dish is clearly of Chinese in origin. So the dish's predecessor is likely Kway Tiao Pad Thai, with Kway Tiao meaning rice noodles in a Chinese dialect, and the entire name meaning basically stir-fried rice noodles, Thai style.
Right, got you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the rice element, they're rice noodles, aren't they? And I think we covered it in previous episodes, like the reason why rice is used in Eastern cuisine more than the West, isn't it? It's like it's the whole climate, isn't it? It's they could just grow rice easier there. Yeah. That's what they had available. So all these, where we're at this point having like wheat noodles, they're still using rice, aren't they? To form all these different food items, which is interesting. Yeah. And they've got like a different texture, haven't they? There's more of a bite to rice noodles, and I think that's perfect for pad thai.
Yeah.
Again, it would go too stodgy if they were made with wheat noodles. I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think
that's what helps keep it light. I feel
definitely. Rice noodles themselves take like a minute to cook as well. They're so quick to cook, aren't they?
Yeah. I think they're just more like porous, aren't they? Absorb water a lot faster. But yeah, rice noodles.
Yeah. No, I mean like noodles and stir frying themselves are like very Chinese things, and immigration likely brought the practice to Thailand centuries before Pippin was a twinkle in his father's eye. All you've got to do is grab some local ingredients, tamarind, palm sugar and chilies, and boom, you've got the flavors of Thailand combined with the techniques and carbs of China.
Yeah.
The other perhaps more entertaining theory is that Pippin announced a competition to create a new national dish.
Oh, he loves his little morale boosting ideas, doesn't he?
Doesn't it? Now, just
competition.
Competition. Now, imagine what this competition would have been like. Like, I'm imagining like a MasterChef professionals type format with like an Asian Greg Wallace knocking about, chatting how much he enjoys pudding, like just how much he absolutely loves mango sticky rice, and that's just he's well annoyed that no one's making that. Yeah. I love the idea.
Well, no,
not 100%. What are you going to say?
I was just going to say we were imagining this MasterChef situation, but it's not going to be in like a pristine steel kitchen, is it? This?
No. The budget for the show is going to be much less. than professionals.
Yeah. Imagine MasterChef in a back alley.
Yeah. You're not getting Jay Rayner coming through. He's not turning up to this.
No.
I mean, I love the idea, but not 100% sure it's legit. Don't know. It just doesn't seem like the sort of thing that he'd do, really, does it?
No, it sounds like he's trying to take a bit of credit for something that's not his to take credit for. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And the final theory, according to Penny van Estrik, who is the author of Materializing Thailand, he writes,
simply had this particular version of a noodle, Thai noodle, that was made by his housekeeper in his kitchen, and he really liked it.
Cheers, Penny.
Penny. Is that a bloke called Penny?
I don't know. It's gender neutral, isn't it?
Penny Van Estrik.
Could be either.
So what's she saying there? Simply had this particular version of a Thai noodle that was made by his housekeeper in his kitchen, and he really liked it.
So he's basically like, I proper enjoy this, Gran, so I'm going to make it the national dish for the entire country, and they're going to love it.
Yeah.
Mental. Imagine having that power.
I know, innit?
Absolutely insane.
So he made the pad thai the national dish.
Yeah, he made
because he loved it.
Well, yeah, that's one of the theories. So the first one is obviously it's of Chinese origins, and it kind of with immigration adapted. They used local ingredients, things were added, combined to make it.
Yeah.
The second one was that he held a MasterChef competition, and the third was that he enjoyed it so much that he wanted it to be everywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Which do you think?
Well, I always think the ones where it's like been influenced by others, like you can kind of see the Chinese influence coming through there. And obviously we've seen this before as well, haven't we? Where like dishes are tweaked, and they're tweaked using local ingredients, different methods, but ingredients that are local, and you kind of then get these new dishes coming from that. So that, I don't know. I feel like that one for me feels like the most likely.
Yeah, that's my favourite.
I don't think the MasterChef one is the one.
Nah, I don't think so. No,
put that in the bin.
Yeah, put that in the bin. So whilst the primary reason for pushing pad thai was obviously to promote national pride and a strong sense of national character, there were other reasons for the big noodle push. So to Pibun, ensuring Thailand's greatness required raising its standard of living, and officials were concerned about the Thai diet and national hygiene as a whole.
Right.
Like, remember at this point in history, a Thai person's diet mainly involves rice, which you can cook in pretty much any old pot, no matter how dirty it was. Grab a dirty ass pot, fill it with water, and you can just cook rice easily with it.
Yeah, it's too easy to make that it kind of promotes laziness, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Pad Thai, on the other hand, with its hearty mix of ingredients and the emphasis on cooking in a clean pot, fits the nation's updated and kind of modern nutritional guidelines. It fit it perfectly. So it's kind of like a perfect kind of poster child for this new way of living for the Thai people.
Yeah, and it requires fresh ingredients as well.
Yeah.
It's not the same dish with anything that's not fresh. It needs that to work.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You kind of naturally eating a little bit healthier. You're using fresher prawns. You're using like crisp, fresh bean sprouts and fresh lime and stuff.
Exactly. And to cook it properly, you need a completely clean pan as well. You can't do it in a dirty pan because it will just stick and go mushy, and you just can't do it. So you have to clean your shit.
Yeah, exactly. And also, you could argue the high heat cooking method of this as well is going to kind of burn away any bacteria or anything that could be lurking in the food.
Yeah.
It's got so much heat going into it that could be another thing, maybe.
100%. I mean, yeah. And in addition to this as well, the late 30s, the 1930s were a particularly difficult time economically for Thailand, and rice noodles were super cheap, super filling, and couple that with some vegetables, like we said, your bean sprouts and an inexpensive protein, and you've got the perfect kind of nutritious meal to send you on your way.
Yeah, I guess a lot of Thailand's economy is held up with tourism, isn't it? And I think
Nowadays,
in the 1930s you've not got that tourism. You've not got people flying over just yet.
Not.
So they're doing without that for the time being.
Yeah, for sure. There was finally there was also another big push on noodles as well, because they wanted to protect the rice resources the country had, especially through kind of the war. They basically told the general public that by eating pad thai they were helping their country, and I'd fucking do that. I'd eat pad thai to help my country out.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Eat food to help.
Yeah.
You should have seen, when we did fucking eat out to help out.
Yeah.
Fucking everyone was out, wasn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Manic.
Wonder if there'll be a podcast about that in like 100 years' time, where people just go back and just laugh at how silly that was.
Yeah, in the midst of the worst part of the pandemic, they gave everyone an incentive to go out.
What was it? 20 quid?
Eat. Yeah, it was something like that, wasn't it? Or it was like it was like half price up to 20 quid or something, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Or something weird as fuck, mate.
Daft.
Don't know. Yeah, don't get us into that anyway.
Yeah, so anyway, in 1941, Japan attacked Thailand, unfortunately. And Pippin agreed to an alliance that gave Japanese troops free movement throughout the country. So he basically surrendered.
Well, kind of a half surrender, because he's not dethroned himself, but he's said you can move through unharmed.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bit of a middle ground, that, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, after the war had ended as well, Pippin defended his cultural mandates as necessary to prevent Thailand from falling fully under the influence of Japan. So he's very much of the belief that, yes, Japan attacked Thailand and they kind of had to agree to this alliance, but they were able to keep their independence from Japan because of these cultural mandates that he put in place, and because they were seen as cultured and civilized and as having an identity.
Right, got you.
But unfortunately for Pippin, soon after the war ended, he was driven out of office, where he lost and then regained power a few times before he was forced into exile in Japan in 1957, and he lived there until his death in 1964.
Oh, bet he was trying to flog pad thai right up to the end, and the Japs didn't want anything to do with it.
They got their own shit going on. They don't need pad thai.
They got sushi. They don't need pad thai.
They got okonomiyaki as well. That's another one we'll do soon. Top dish, that.
Yeah.
Top dish. But anyway, while the new government rolled back much of his cultural revolution, because most of the ideas were fucking ludicrous, there was no backlash towards pad thai, which
that remained.
Yeah, it's fair enough, because the dish absolutely slaps. You can't be mad at pad thai, can you? Really?
No.
It breaks a vase. It kicks a football through your window. You can't be mad at pad thai. Not with them sprinkled peanuts on top.
Oh, the crunchy saltiness.
Can't be mad at that. You can't be mad at that. So, is that it for pad thai? Well, no, it's not, because generations later, the Thai government once again found itself promoting pad thai. This time, it wasn't internally, though. It was externally. So the push this time was basically to boost international awareness of the country and promote tourism to foreigners. So this is where Thailand boom basically begins. So Thailand itself made it easier to export Thai ingredients. They gave loans to Thai restaurateurs abroad, and they established visas specifically for Thai chefs in countries such as New Zealand, so they would spread the good word of pad thai to all corners of the earth.
Right, yeah. They're sending out little minions to go and infect everyone with pad thai. Yumminess.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's a massive push by the government, and it was a massive push. It is a massive push because it's still going on, and it's it worked. It's still working to this day.
Yeah, because everyone's chasing that authentic pad thai.
Yeah.
You there's nothing more disappointing than a shit pad thai. So, you taste one really good one, and like I've been doing, chasing that one I had back at uni. I'm looking for it, and it's good, and there's only one destination that this quest is going to leave me, and that's Thailand.
That's Bangkok, my friend.
It's going on holiday to Thailand and spending my money and eating true pad thai. And do you know who's won there?
Thai.
Fucking Pippin.
Yeah,
Pippin's fucking done it.
Right. From beyond the grave, it's going to get you.
Mad.
Yeah. I mean, it's clear that it's worked, because at the time of this, the Global Thai Program is what it's called, and when it was launched, there were about 5,000 Thai restaurants beyond Thailand's borders. Wow. Today, there's around 15,000 to 20,000 Thai restaurants.
In the UK?
I think that's over the world.
Is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Well,
doesn't seem that many, does it? Really?
That doesn't feel like very many. No. It's like 20 in Leeds.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that many now. I'm reading it. 15,000.
In the world? No way.
This is from a 2019 article. There can't have been.
Is sure it's not UK, that?
No, it was on Vice. Vice.com. It says that in the US there's 5,000 Thai restaurants. I mean, estimated.
Fair enough.
It says estimated. Maybe they're just not registered. Maybe.
Just fucking dodging the tax man.
Yeah.
That money's going straight back to Pippin.
Yeah. However many Thai restaurants there are nowadays, there's fucking a lot more than there was at the start of this program.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I don't know about you, but everywhere that I've lived, like in recent years, so obviously Hull and then York, two places where I've lived.
Yeah.
Two places where I've lived, right? I arrived and there was probably like one Thai restaurant there in the whole city. When I left Hull, I knew of at least 4 or 5. And in York, there's like 10 at least.
Yeah.
They're still coming up, aren't they?
Yeah. We're still kind of in the process of being turned on to Thai food, aren't we? In a way.
Some people are, yeah.
As a country kind of thing. We touched on it before about the previous generation, like our grandparents' reluctance to kind of like their culinary range kind of extends to like the Chinese takeaway and maybe fish and chips. And that's probably about it. Whereas like there's so much more choice now and that our generation are open to trying all these new things. I think it's just going to get more and more popular, isn't it?
Yeah.
And even nowadays, like I'd always kind of rather get a Thai than a Chinese.
Yeah, I would.
You know, and I used to absolutely love Chinese takeaway. So, you know, it's grasping everyone. It's getting us.
Yeah.
It's going to get you.
Getting you.
If it's not got you yet, it's going to get you.
Getting you.
Pibbins on your tail.
Do you prefer pad thai to chow mein?
Yeah, hell yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
I think I do as well. Yeah,
Definitely.
I do.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they are different, aren't they? You've got kind of
Yeah.
more deeper, richer flavour with a chow mein. Whereas
Come on, man. Splitting hairs here. Just
We're splitting
fucking
hairs.
get off the fence. Get off the fence. Pick a side.
pad thai.
I'm over there with you.
But yeah, they're popping up, aren't they? Popping up everywhere.
Yeah, they're popping up, and it's all because of this global Thai program. You know, it's sent tourism to the country itself, soaring the number of visitors that they get. Like you said, now it's probably obviously before COVID one of their main drivers of income.
Massively
for the entire country. But you know, it's also improving Thailand's kind of reputation, especially in the culinary sphere, you know, worldwide, and they're
A lot
growing.
of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we have it, really. Our first origin story that involves political intrigue, a successful coup, revolution, a dictator, and the Second World War, all wrapped up into a neat little package.
Oh, love it.
Thai package. You know,
Pad Thai.
Pad Thai. It's a dish that was basically built from the ground up to represent Thailand. It was created to become a part of a nation's national identity. And quite frankly, can't think of a better dish.
Yeah, it's a metaphor for a country that's extremely proud of itself and a country that kind of has a lot to be proud of. You know, you've got these amazing terrain, awesome climate, and like we said at the beginning, like lovely people.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be proud of there, isn't there? I think that's kind of encapsulated in the Pad Thai quite nicely.
100%. 100%.
There we go, Pad Thai.
Pad Thai.
Well, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. I certainly did. Learned a lot.
Me too.
Yeah. We hadn't done a Thai dish, had we? So we kind of thought it'd be nice to head to this part of the world for a change.
Definitely. I think this is our second Asian dish as well, right? Like we've only done bao before.
Bao.
So there's going to be plenty more opportunities to absolutely butcher pronunciations. So get ready for that.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, follow us on Instagram. We've got our Instagram page, which is What the Food Podcast. Like I said earlier, feel free to email us if you want to suggest a dish for us to cover. We're more than happy to take that on board. So you can email us at whatthefoodpodcast@gmail.com. And just a general thank you for listening. You know, there's a lot of you that are coming back time and time again to listen to each episode.
We see you.
And
we see you.
Yeah, we see you. It's just really nice to know people are enjoying it. It's really, really cool. It's actually very, very cool. Yeah.
Thank you guys. See you next time.
Yeah. See you in 2 weeks' time for our next episode.
Over and out. Bye.
Bye.